Hello! Today I am drawing a girl from a dream I had, like, late 2022. And even though it's over 2 years old, I still wanted to draw something to commemorate it. I've actually drawn this character before, but I never made a full body illustration until now. As for the dream itself, I wrote it down shortly after dreaming it, but I did fill in some of the blanks here and there, and I can't remember for certain what was the dream and what was my conscious imagination. But we'll just say that it was a collaboration between my conscious and subconscious mind and leave it at that. I hope you enjoy! So this girl was the only survivor found on an ancient space shipwreck, and she was preserved in some type of cryogenic pod of sorts. I never came up with a proper name for her, but I'm just gonna call her May for now to make things less confusing. The crew who found May brought her to their own spaceship and helped her begin a new life. They were very kind to her, but they were also very curious and maybe a little bit nosy about her past. I can't remember if she actually had any memories of her life before or not. I think my dream kept flip-flopping between whether or not she remembered anything. I don't know if your guys' dreams just switch the plot every now and then. But yeah, if I recall correctly, she came from an era where Earth was still habitable, and this present generation of humans had never experienced life on Earth. So naturally, they asked her a lot of questions. To them, she was a living, breathing piece of history, pretty much. Anyway, about the spaceship she started her new life on, it wasn't just a transport ship. It was designed specifically to be lived on long term. And it was huge, too. It was big enough that everyone got their own bedroom, and it had lots of communal spaces. Some of them were living spaces such as kitchens, but it also had more recreational spaces as well, like a gym. But by far the most exceptional thing about the ship was that she was actually sapient. She had a human level of intelligence, and she'd regularly converse with her inhabitants. Everyone relied on her, not just for life support, but just for general companionship. And she was more than happy to take care of everyone. Also, little tangent, this isn't really significant to the rest of the dream, but May ended up befriending a burly, perpetually sweaty man who loved to work out. He showed her the ship's gym, and the two of them lifted weights together. May wasn't able to lift nearly as much as him, but he still hyped her up anyway, like a good friend. Funny thing, as they were leaving the gym, the ship refused to let them out until the dude took a shower. May had already showered, mind you, but this guy proceeded to debate the ship on whether or not he should have to shower. The ship insisted that it was unsanitary to leave without showering, but he reminded her that he works out like 5 times a day, and he claimed that it was unreasonable to expect him to shower when he was just gonna get sweaty all over again. Thankfully, he lost that argument, or at least I think he did, I can't really remember, but since I decide what is and isn't canon, I'm going to declare right here, right now, he did have to take a shower. Despite his general smelliness, it was hard not to like the guy, because he was a very friendly and kind individual. Whole tangent aside, there was one really odd thing about the ship. Even though it was super massive, it felt kind of claustrophobic because all the doors were always closed, and there was no manual way to open them either. Whenever someone wanted to leave or enter a room, they had to ask the ship to open the door, and she'd gladly do so for them, but then she'd always close the door right behind them. Everyone just sort of accepted this as the norm, even though it would have been a lot more convenient if she had just left the doors to all the communal spaces open. Now, have you ever experienced a dream where you just naturally know a piece of information without ever being told or witnessing it yourself? Well, I knew instinctively that the reason she kept all the doors shut was because there was some other creature living on that ship. It showed signs of intelligence, but it was hostile towards humans, and it would absolutely hurt someone if given the chance. It didn't eat or poop or anything. It left no evidence of its presence, and no human on that ship knew that it was there. And the ship intended to keep it that way. She didn't want to scare anyone. It had been living on the ship for a long time, and the ship herself had tried to get rid of it, but it wouldn't go anywhere near the airlock. So instead, she just kept all the doors shut and wouldn't let anybody into whatever room the monster was in at the time. Even though I had never seen the creature myself, my imagination was telling me that it was bipedal and very, very tall, but it would hunch forward, so it seemed less tall, but it was tall. Yeah, very menacing presence. Anyway, that was my dream. Honestly, it left me wanting more. I really want to know what happens with the creature inside the ship, but I do not intend to continue to work on this story in any way. As fun as that would be, I just have way too many stories in progress as it is, and I don't need another one. But I do think it would make a very cool video game. You could explore this absolute labyrinth of a spaceship, uncover May's old memories, and try to lure the monster into the airlock or something like that. I don't know, it sounds fun, but I honestly don't ever want to make my own video game, like, ever. So it'll just have to exist as a vague concept in my head, which honestly I'm fine with. You know, not every concept needs to be made into something big. Sometimes it can just be made into a short YouTube video, and then, you know, release it into the world. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I don't know if you can hear my cat recording in the background of this voiceover, but I'm not making him leave. That's non-negotiable. He's my baby. So sorry if that's distracting, but anyway, the drawing footage is pretty long, and I've already run out of things to say about the dream I had, so we're just gonna yap about other things. First off, I know the undo redo alert that shows up in the upper part of the recording is kind of annoying, and I apologize for that. On the bright side, I figured out how to disable that, so it shouldn't be a problem in future videos. Also, my iPad screen is a shorter resolution than YouTube's standard video resolution, and I hate having that empty space there, but the blanking fill or flat color background just lacks a certain pizzazz, in my opinion. So I tried drawing my own background to match with the video. Let me know if you like it. I think it would be fun to design a quick background to match the drawing of each new video I make, or it could end up becoming a massive chore. We'll see if I actually stick with it in the long run. If nothing else, I could always make some basic templates that could fit in any number of videos, and then I could adjust the colors as needed. Can I just say, I've been in an art rut lately, but editing the footage from this drawing has made me want to get back into art again. Specifically line art. I don't know if anyone else is this way, but I don't have a favorite part of the process. It all depends on whatever I'm feeling in that moment. There are some parts of the process that I love some days and then end up dreading other days, and today I'm in the mood for some bold line art, so I might just do that later. But anyway, I feel like I should talk about the drawing in the video for a second. This character design and drawing came about way faster than what is usual for me. I have this habit of never finalizing character designs, and I fret over whether or not I'm making the supposed right choices, and as a result, the design process always takes me forever. But I didn't want to spend days coming up with a character design that I honestly might never draw again, so I took on a different approach this time. Basically, every choice I made, I took it or left it. My process was pretty much this. Put a line here. Does it look good? If no, then undo it, and if yes, then keep it. There's no need to search for a better option. Sometimes good is good enough. I don't need this to be the best possible character design. It just needs to be not bad. In the past, I would go through iteration after iteration before settling on something, but this time I just wung it. Winged it? Wung it? Whatever the past tense of wing it is. This time I just winged it with nothing more than a mental image of what I wanted her to look like. I committed to whatever ideas popped into my head as long as they didn't look bad. And I did the same thing with the background too. I did a few practice sketches in a mini sketchbook, but other than that, I just kind of went in and let whatever shapes unfold as they were happening. Could this drawing have been better? Yeah. Does it have to be better? No, not really. It's fine as is. I think the fact that I'm not going to do much else with this character definitely helped me achieve a certain level of chill in my process this time around. I don't know if I could convince my brain to apply this process to some of my more long-term OCs. By the way, It's been a while since I've made a video. I was planning to upload this video in May, but my laptop broke on me. I took it to a repair shop and they said that I would have to replace the whole motherboard, which would have been way too expensive. I only had the thing for 2.5 years, and I spent $900 on it, and that was $300 off too. And yet that stupid thing, brand new when I got it, still broke on me. You'd think that something that expensive would be built to last, but no! Of course not. That's just too much to expect of a $900 piece of equipment. If anyone's curious, my laptop was the Asus ROG Zephyrus G19. I'm giving out her full government name, calling her out. And this wasn't just a me problem either. I looked it up and there were multiple forum posts where people were having the same problem with the laptop as I was. And it's wholly a hardware issue too, meaning that it's super expensive to fix. So yeah, do not waste your money on the Asus Zephyrus. I don't care what the YouTube tech boys say, that thing will not last you. Anyway, rant aside, I got a desktop this time. Less so because I wanted a desktop, and more so that if something breaks in the future, I can just replace the individual part instead of the whole thing. But man, it is taking some serious getting used to. Honestly, there are some things that I really don't like about it. I'm very tempted to return it while I still can, but we'll see. I mean, I definitely do like the more ergonomic setup, but the space it takes up just overwhelms me. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this random dream I had. Thank you for watching. See you later.